thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And we're now in Charles Fort, or at least in the grounds, and it would absolutely blow you away here. So I've tried to get a wee bit of shelter to talk to you so that you can hear what I'm saying, because it really is very windy here. But what you see here in front of us is actually where the troops were billeted. So these were the soldiers' quarters. This building here that you're looking at, and you can see the roof's completely gone. I don't know what this building was. I looked on the map, but it doesn't tell you, so I'm not too sure. And there's other buildings here that I'm going to take around. Some of these buildings you can go inside. So I'm not sure what actually this is here. It looks more like an old chapel or an old church, but I'm not too sure. So we'll try and take a wee walk down here without getting blew away in the process. Have a wee juke in here. Let's see, that was the soldiers' quarters. Charles Fort's pretty amazing. So let's blow in here. You can see the two cannon up there. Right, the fire. Now, King James the Second, he landed at Kinsale in County Cork on the 12th of March 1689, and I hope to make my way down there to the pier to have a wee look at that, the landings site. And so he landed here in 1689 in an attempt to reclaim the throne of England, Scotland and Ireland that was now being occupied by his son-in-law, King William III, the Prince of Orange. And of course, as I said in another wee video, that James was actually William's father-in-law, because James married Mary, who was William married Mary, sorry, who was James's daughter. But also, James was also William III's uncle as well. So they certainly did keep it in the family in those days. Now, James had French support with him, which had been given to him by King Louis XIV of France. And of course, King Louis was fighting King William and King William's Grand Alliance in a European war. And so Ireland then became a part of this European war. And there's a wee memorial here, as you can see, and it's in memory of the officers, non-commissioned officers and men of the Royal Munster Fusiliers 1881 to 1922, formerly the Royal Bengal Fusiliers. I think it says, no it's not, yeah it is Fusiliers, and the Bengal Fusiliers, 101st and 104th Regiments of Foot, 1756 to 1881. And this part here is the armoury that we're going into now. As you can see, and so King James had French support, and his forces then took control of James Fort, which is not far from here, and also this fort here, Charles Fort. And that's the storehouse just down there, as you can see, and that looks to be like a lighthouse. And then in 1690, both forts were actually attacked by the Williamites under the command of the Duke of Württemberg and also John Churchill, later first Duke of Marlborough. And of course, John Churchill is an ancestor of Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of England during the war. So you can see the old buildings there. That's a fireplace. I'll take you in and show you there. Now, the commander of James Fort was Colonel O'Driscoll, and it was captured by the Williamite forces after being damaged by an explosion of gunpowder stores. And as I say, we will be taking a look at that fort. And an earlier medieval fort had actually existed on that site, and it was named Castle Nye Park, and it actually was there before James Fort was built. And I see a puddle of water here, so I don't know if I'll be able to take you in there or not, but we'll have a go. Dear dear, it's like a river, but you can see the fireplace from here. It's a bit like a river there today, but at least the sun's shining and the rain's over at the moment, which is good. There's another fireplace there, but I'll not be getting in there. And so, as I say, James Fort is not far from here, and we will be taking a wee look at it. You can see, I think that's just a retainer there to try and hold that up, I think. So we'll have a wee look in here. I'm not sure if we'll get in here or not. We'll see. But it's very dark. Hopefully you can see there. Just have to watch where I'm walking. Don't actually know what this was. It'd be a core place to hide in somebody. Jump out on them, just hide in there when they're walking through, jump out. So I'm not sure what that was, to be honest. Occupied for a time by the Spanish forces during the early part of the siege of KINSALE in 1601, and it was captured from the Spanish by Sir Richard Smith, who led the attacking English forces of Charles Blunt, or Lord Mountjoy as he is known. And immediately after the siege of KINSALE, construction of James Fort then commenced, and the fort then was named after King James I of England. So it was the earlier fort that was the Spanish were actually in control of. And so the James Fort then was actually completed in 1604, and it cost a sum of £645. Now there's no way, this is a storehouse here, you can see down there, there's no way you'd build a fort today for £645, but they certainly did then. Look at this here, brilliant. See the old cobbles. I apologise for the quality because it is really windy and it's hard to It's hard to give commentary without wind blowing in your face, but we're doing our best here, so hopefully it'll not spoil the video too much for you. Not a big lot of room in this wee place here, isn't it? And so although Charlesfort was operating as a military garrison through to the early 20th century, Jamesfort actually declined in usage during the 18th century. Pretty amazing place all the same, isn't it? In 1649, Jamesfort had been captured by Oliver Cromwell and his forces without a struggle. And so Jamesfort is a very nice fort. It's got beautiful surroundings, and we will be taking a look at that later on. But getting back to Charlesfort, Charlesfort was completed in 1682, and it was actually built on the site of an earlier stronghold. And I just have to take my time getting up here. So while I'm doing that, I'll give you a wee view of the buildings. And it was known as, the earlier fort then here was known as Barry Og Castle. And it was at the area here which is Ring Curran. And so the Ring Curran defences had featured prominently during the siege of Kinsale in 1601. And this is indeed a lighthouse, I thought it was. You can see. And then with the focus on seaward defence, the landward and inland bastions of the fort are overlooked by higher grounds. And so the weakness in the fort's defences, because of this, was actually crucial. It was of crucial importance whenever the fort was laid siege to by the Williamite forces in 1690 under John Churchill, who would later become the first Duke of Marlborough. It's not too tall anyway. There's another part of the fort you can see down there. So you can see the higher ground, which really became good ground for the Williamites who were attacking, because they could place their artillery on there. But it certainly wasn't good for the defenders, the Jacobites who were defending the fort. And so the fort was able to hold out for 13 days, after which it had to surrender. pretty extensive, this, there's no doubt about it. And repairs then were carried out by the Williamites following the siege. There's another fireplace there, that's Governor's house. That's the Governor's house. I think that was the house I took you into. Well, I couldn't get in because of the water, it was waterlogged. There's a wee inscription there above the door, I don't know what that is. But you can see clearly there, it's the Governor's house. The Governor of the fort. And then, marching on forward a wee bit in history, the fort remained as a British Army barracks for approximately 200 years before being relinquished by relief forces following the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. They're doing a bit of work up there, you can see. And the fort was actually burnt by retreating anti-treaty, Anglo-treaty forces during the Irish Civil War. So it's a conflict, this fort, there's no doubt about it. I think we'll go down because we're getting blew away here. And of course, that was in 1921. So definitely it's seen a bit of action. No doubt about it. And this is the artillery quarters that you're looking at now. All overgrown. She definitely is. So I'm going to wrap this wee video up shortly and I'll do another one. I'll probably do a few. And there's indoor exhibitions here as well at this fort. That's the Sally port, whoever Sally is. I'll take a wee walk down here. There's a wee pigeon. That wee pigeon's going to fly away, I would say, because he was thinking I'm coming to get him. There he goes. Now this is a storehouse here too. So I'll take you down to the gate in a wee minute. Take you in here and let you see the storehouse. Well, if you can see it. My goodness, it's pitch black. Dear, dear, dear. Can't see a thing and I've no torch with me. This is a cool wee tunnel, isn't it? This tunnel is very much like the tunnel that they have in Carrickfergus Castle. This would take them down to the ships here. You would assume they would have used this for that. You would assume. There's another wee pigeon. Hello. 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 He's not scared, but he's a wee bit scared. Not as scared as that other one was. Hello. Maybe he can't fly. Maybe something wrong with his wings. Could be. Oh, no, there's not. He's able to fly. He must be living in there. So, we're going to wrap this wee video up shortly. I keep saying that, but then I'm saying more things. You can see the thickness of the walls there, like. Massive thickness, there's no doubt about it. We might actually be able to see James Fort from here, where I'm going to be taking you, so have a wee look and see. No, it's over that direction, but I think it's more around to the right. So there you are. Right, I think we'll wrap this wee video up here, and because we're over 20 minutes, and then we'll start another one. So a brave wee view there, isn't there? Very nice. So thank you for watching, and God bless.